Hello everyone, welcome to the Serial Hobbyist YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're a subscriber, I appreciate you coming around once again. This is a channel where I'm sharing my love of backgammon and specifically my ever-growing backgammon board collection because I am addicted to the artistry and the craftsmanship of really cool backgammon boards. And my goal here with this channel is to share boards of all sizes, small to big, and from expensive and luxury down to the affordable options for the beginner. And the board that I have today is one of those. This is from Silverman Co, which if you've spent any time in the backgammon space, you're probably aware of. They make fantastic, affordable boards that are very high quality for the price. And this one in particular is a perfect travel size board. And in fact, I would say if there ever was the ideal travel size, this 16-inch option from Silverman Co is probably the ticket. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the dimensions, the build quality, the ordering process if you've not bought from Gammon Village before, which is where this board comes from. I'm going to lay it open, we'll do some measurements, we'll talk about the components individually, and we'll play a few rolls, of course, just to see how the board is in action. So before I dive into that, I would love to have you as a subscriber. It helps support the channel, it gives me the excitement and the drive to go on and keep sharing these reviews with you. And I hope that you find them helpful. So if you think this content's great and you like backgammon as much as me, hopefully I get your subscription by the end of this video and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the updates in the future. Now, if you're not subscribing, leave a comment with your thoughts on this board or other boards you'd like to see reviewed here on the channel. And lastly, like the video if you enjoy what you watch. But let's get into the board itself and the ordering process. So Gammon Village, I've featured a lot of their boards on the channel before. They're one of the supporters here at the Serial Hobbyist, and I'm grateful for them for sending this over. They don't have any say over what I talk about in this video, so if you prefer to think of this more as an overview than a review because of maybe the inherent bias of me being sent this board, that's fine, but I hope to share pros and cons plainly with you and what I think are the strengths and the weaknesses. Now, Gammon Village is a company that stocks a lot of boards. They have a bunch of great options. I would consider them like the standard for a good tournament board here in the US that's ready-made and off the shelf available. And they also have a lot of the smaller options. Silverman Co, I think, is one of their house brands, and they are like a titch below the Wycliffe brothers, which is like their big tournament size offering. And the Silverman Co make really great entry-level beginner boards or a second travel board for your collection. This is the 16-inch model. It sits in the middle of the Silverman Co range, so they have a small, I think it's 11 or 13. The 16 is the middle, and then they have like a 18 or 18-inch board, I think, which is the large. Now, I mentioned this in the intro, but I think this is the ideal coffee shop board, the ideal going on a trip. This would fit in a carry-on luggage. This will fit in most backpacks. The color on this one is this really nice green. I think it's like an emerald green, which is very nice. As far as the components of a Silverman Co board, they have some of the best clasps in the industry. Like, these things are rock solid, really heavy springs, like a solid thunk when you close it, good thick metal. I have boards costing like quadruple this that I don't think have as good of clasp. So this thing's not popping open when you're traveling with it. The handle is very thick and like full feeling. Like, it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall apart. I've never had issues with the handles on my Silverman Co. You've got the nice chrome accents on the hinges and on the clasps and the handle part. It's a faux leather exterior. These are very like scuff resistant and hardy. They travel really well. I have a larger Silverman Co that's gone on the road with us and been shoved under a stroller, and it still looks excellent. Okay, so exterior is awesome. Gammon Village, easy to order from. They have most of these boards in stock. You click order, it's at your house within the week, which is really nice. So let me put the camera overhead. We'll get a top-down view and we'll dive into each of the components individually. Before I open the board, here's a look again at that exterior in the faux leather with the nice green color. We'll do some measurements here. 16 inches long, as I mentioned in the intro, and then width this is about 10.5. So you're looking about 21 inches when open, excluding the handle. So we'll pop these latches up. Open this up, and I'm actually gonna have to pull these latches down so that will lay flat. And you can see the interior of the board. I like the muted look at the inside. Like, there's still enough contrast here with the points easily to see, but nothing bolded in your face. Everything kind of follows the same color scheme, which is really, really nice. Now, the surface of the Silverman Co boards is like their proprietary kind of suede microfiber material. It looks really, really great. Sometimes you do see like streaks in it as you move pieces or your fingernail across like that, but you know, they like rub out just like any other suede wood. Now the cups here are standard cups from Gammon Village. They kind of use this shape with a lot of their boards. They're finished in the same leatherette as the exterior of the board, felt on the inside for a nice sound, and a trip lip, of course. So if you're a serious player or you're getting into backgammon, you want to, you know, have a board that people that are serious will play with you on. This is great for that. Now here's the sound of the cup. Really nice sound, not too loud, not too clacky, and your roll there looks great. Okay, so these are awesome cups. They don't have a home in the board. They just kind of float freely in here, but that's okay on a board this size, I think. Now, we've been playing with the dice, so let's talk about them. These are standard dice, no precision dice here with the Silverman and Co, but honestly, even my more expensive boards don't come with precision dice. So these are awesome dice. They've got a really glossy finish. They're an appropriate size, I think, for the board. They have a good, you know, ratio to the checker size. They've got rounded corners, and all the pips are even with no divots or missing paint. So those are great. Again, the theme with the Silverman and Co boards is consistency. You don't really worry about QC problems because their boards just come out looking great every time. The doubling cube, I talked about this in my last video, but I care about the ratio of the doubling cube to the dice. I want it to be at least like 1.5, but preferably 2x the size of the dice. And I think this is probably about the 1.5 mark. So good contrasting size between the two. Again, very even painting, very even numerals on the cube, a nice sans serif font, sharp corners as opposed to the round on the dice. It's a great formula. Don't ever change the Silverman & Co. It looks awesome. White and black for the checkers, the dice, and the cube. Very contrasty. You'll see this when I talk about the checkers, but really the only gripe is, you know, I think they could add a little flair to this board, to any of their Silverman & Co. boards, by adding some marbling to the checkers or giving some contrasting or complementary colors instead of the plain black and white. But again, like, it's hard to mess up neutrals, so I get why they do it. Now, the checkers, they have fantastic checkers on the Silverman & Co. boards. These are white, very stark white. They're like, I think the urea stone, so they're quite heavy. They have a very smooth texture. You can hear when they hit the table, they clack quite loud. They're very heavy, but despite that, I've never had one of these chip or break when I've dropped it even onto the floor from, you know, 3 feet up or so. So they're very high quality. They feel good in the hand. Here's the black. Okay, again, if Silverman & Co, here's my constructive criticism for this video, or just my thoughts for improvement going forward. I think if Silverman & Co got some great like marbled checkers, same size consistency as these, but just with a little more texture or variety, I think that would go over very well. But then again, they couldn't use the same checkers for all the boards, so it would be a little bit of a hassle. Now, side to side, you can see we've got our 6 across the points here. They fit excellent, a millimeter, like two millimeters of play between them, so perfectly good for slotting, and we can kind of slot these just like that. You can see how they go. Really nice action, and the points being printed on, so smooth to move your checkers across, like really, really smooth. Love that. Now let's just do some across the board measurements here. Can't quite get that one in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 checkers, which is pretty standard. Almost can get that last one in. So let's set up a game here, and we can do a few rolls and talk about my experience. Now, again, this board is my ideal coffee shop board size. Like, as I was playing with this, I didn't think that before, but as I played, I'm like, this is excellent for taking on the go. The only way you're gonna get like a smaller form factor than this, or a different form factor, is to do like a roll-up board, like one of the Allen Masters boards, which I've yet to get on the channel. But that's just it's an entirely different experience. This is like a nice contained leatherette case. So it's just whatever you prefer. I've got my cups here. I'm just gonna set one off to the side. We'll roll one of each to get this game started. And as always, please feel free to critique my play. So 4 and 1, I think we've got to come, so we can either put a builder and split, or we can move up to the 20 and actually I think builder and split is the right move, or that and that. 4 and 1, actually not an opening roll that I'm very confident on, but we're gonna go with 4 and 1 here. And then you guys can tell me if that's right or wrong. Put those on that side. Okay, white Gonna come out the double fours. Great opening roll. So I think we got to come up to the 20 here. Oh, and do we just advance and hit? Do we make an inner board point and come down? There's a lot of great options right now. I think we make a point and hit on the inside. I'm torn between that and hitting this guy that's closer to home. Please tell me in the comments which of those is right. But we'll go with that for now. 2 and 5. So we're gonna come in on the 5, and then for the 2, black does not have a ton of good options. That brings that down in the line of fire. I think, should we just come up here? I think we're just gonna do that. This is not as easy of a set of rolls as I had last game. Okay, so now, do we break up our 20 point to hit? Do we use we could hit twice, we could 4 and 3, but we'd be vulnerable. Guys, I am actually not sure here, but I have to do something and I can't let this video drag on. So let's do 4 and 3 and come up to here. I think that's what we'll do. We'll see if that was the right choice. So now he's made the anchor here. 5, and then with the 6, I think maybe try and get out here. Yeah, okay, let's try this. I feel like an amateur right now. 2 and 5, we can just get this guy to safety. We're really stacking on the midpoint here, but we're just gonna go with it. Let's just get a couple more rolls in. There's that sound of that dice cup again, so you guys can hear it. 6 and 1. I mean, I guess we can just do that, just to try and start building up a prime or having something over there on that side. 4 and 1. Shoo, we're gonna have to hit and go up. Okay, guys, I feel really shaky about this play today. Give me some tips down in the comments. Let's go to the outro and talk about the pros and cons of this board. So there you have it. That is the Silverman Co 16-inch model in the beautiful green color. I'm very impressed with this board, as I am with all my Silverman Co's. They don't have issues. You order it and you know you're getting a quality product. There's no guessing on the colors or the build quality. Like, their QC is excellent. Everything that I've ever gotten, dating back to when I first started playing Backgammon 5 years ago, has been awesome. So I highly endorse these things. I think it's a great pickup at the price. I'll include a link down below if you want to go check it out there. It would support the channel if you want to, but no pressure, all right? If you didn't enjoy this video, tell me why down in the comments. Critique my strategy and hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.